anti-Semitic post. What do you know about that?
He sure did. You guys, the post was by a user on X that claimed the Jewish communities push, quote, hatred against whites. He responded saying, quote, you have said the actual truth.
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go fuck yourself.
To drain the swamp of the tech world. Like he's finally saying no to advertisers, you know, just like Trump said no to effects. And I think that's like, you know, within like the company sphere, like that's always been a stronghold that people have always used against like social media platforms and people from like having, you know, a certain level of like free speak or autonomy of how they want to run their business, because they're always like, well, the advertisers think, you know, I want to do this, I want to push this idea, I think this would be great for humanity, or like, you know, something that would like kind of frame how people think. And it's like, okay, but you know, what would the advertisers think? What's poppin', everybody?
Welcome back to the Cold Popcast.
I'm Zoe.
And I'm Steve.
All right, and today we're going to talk about a controversial tweet that Elon Musk agreed with that basically lost him a lot of advertisers and his shocking response to the controversy.
Yeah, so Elon Musk, he basically agreed with this tweet that was actually saying that Jewish people they promote hatred against white people. Now, I don't have any opinion on that personally, but basically when he tweeted back, he said, this is the actual truth. And a lot of news media outlets picked that up and said, this is anti-Semitic, this is inappropriate, and eventually he lost millions of dollars worth of advertising, probably hundreds of millions of dollars worth of advertising. So we can actually see a little bit more context in the YouTube video where we have some news media people speaking about what Elon Musk actually did.
Yeah. Do you think this is the end of Elon Musk?
Probably not. He's the richest man on the planet.
Is this where he falls?
Anti-Semitic post. What do you know about that?
He sure did. You guys, the post was by a user on X that claimed the Jewish communities push, quote, hatred against whites. He responded saying, quote, you have said the actual truth. And then he backpedaled in later posts. He says he does not believe hatred of white people extends to all Jewish communities, but he did re-up his attack on the Anti-Defamation League. He said the ADL unjustly attacks the majority of the West.
Elon Musk did something yesterday.
Yes, I don't know. I don't really know what's going on with those tweets. It seems like Elon Musk is positioning himself as like the leader of the White Lives Matter movement with that kind of tweet.
You know, it's actually funny. He actually, on his most recent podcast with Joe Rogan, he did bring up the fact that like, it seems like his comments seem like he was like going to war with like the Silicon Valley community and like, you know, I guess
woke left.
Yeah, pretty much the left and all the people around that. But it seems like he's starting to really adopt some like very like rebel like stances and you know, who like controls like certain things and how he wants to fight back against it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like X was founded on like the idea of free speech, at least. Mm-hmm. Like the idea of being able to say what you want to say without having actual like financial or massive consequences associated with just saying things.
Yeah. Well, did he give any context to why he said that though? Like, does he feel like pretty much like Jewish media or whatever is like kind of attacking him or like his platform, which is why he made those comments?
I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, no, I haven't actually seen. I mean, I would assume that it's not too personal. I think he probably just sees like different trends in culture that may have given him an inkling that might be true. One thing that comes to mind for me, and I don't know if this is accurate, but basically like, you know, a lot of like the music industry is like sort of built around like, you know, Jewish folks like leading those companies. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the narratives they push are about like, I would say if anything, it seems like they're more focused on like hatred of black people or like hatred, like making the black culture a little bit more toxic, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's definitely, that's definitely what they say, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, so Elon Musk basically he had a response to this entire topic, but let's see what he had to say about his advertisers leaving X and not wanting to be beholden to them.
That and you're clarifying this now, but there's a public perception that was part of a apology tour, if you will. That this had been said online. There was all of the criticism. There was advertisers leaving. We talked to Bob Iger
I hope
today.
they stop.
You hope?
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go fuck yourself.
But
Go fuck yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is.
They're so shocked.
Hey,
to
Bob,
be blackmailed.
if you're in the audience.
Yeah, you can pause it there.
well,
So-
let me ask.
They're so shocked.
Yeah, like they've never seen anything like this before because he's basically like, company be damned. I'm gonna say what I want to say.
He's
yeah.
he's like Silicon Valley's like Eastern European Kanye.
Yeah, he's like the drain the swamp of the tech world. Like he's finally saying no to advertisers. Just like Trump said no to super PACs.
And I think it's going to work in his favor because, he's been saying that he wants to move to a subscription model. And I remember how everyone was like, oh, Twitter Blue is garbage. Twitter Blue is going to fail. But I bet there's like probably millions of Twitter Blue subscribers now.
There probably are. I think it's just one of those things it just took a while for it to catch on. But I think like people are going to acclimate to small changes in Twitter before they just drop it. Because I think too many people use it at this point. It's too integrated into your life.
Right. We need that content.
Yeah. It's like
Twitter is
if you had to pay a subscription like to have a phone, I think more people would end up just paying that like $8 a month to own a phone than just not use a phone ever again.
yeah, they'd be pissed, but they would still keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the ones that can't afford it,
Nah, man. Reddit and also Zucky Boy would win.
nah, man, Reddit's too cucked. I don't know.
Dude, Reddit might be cucked, but also Facebook still exists and it's got VR now.
Right,
people aren't using
but when
VR
you want to
like
know
that.
what's going on in the
It doesn't
world,
matter. They got it.
I struggle to find out what's going on in the world on Facebook, to be honest. I can find out, like, I can watch some funny stuff, I can see business things, but when it comes to like I just want to know what's happening right now, Twitter can't be beat.
It's a little too clean.
Yeah.
I get
Twitter
what
and
you're
Reddit,
saying.
Yeah,
pretty good for
Twitter's
that.
interface I think is like it's like Apple phones where it's just like the
What about
interface
TikTok?
is just way more convenient.
Dude, we'll just start getting all of our news through the Chinese.
We'll just get it through Chinese
Just
TikTok.
be them dancing. It's like this is what you got to see. This is
Yeah.
breaking news.
Yeah.
The water dance
The whole
challenge.
time.
It would
That's all of our
I imagine
content.
like the rest of the world if China controlled the news
They'll
media.
win.
Everyone gets like edited news and then they get the real news. Like they're just showing us like today on Chinese TikTok, street performers do something crazy. And
Look at this. His hands are in the food.
yeah, while they're telling everyone else like how to like design a bomb or something.
Yeah.
They're only talking to themselves about the stuff that matters.
Yeah. But back to Elon Musk. So like one of the big things that happened was one of the main advertisers that actually left was Bob Iger, who was the CEO of Disney. So when you think about the scale at
He
which
said,
he's
"Fuck
basically
you,
telling these
Bob."
people to fuck off, it's like he's literally telling Disney to fuck off with all their money.
Right.
Yeah, he is.
Which is
I think that's pretty.
not great.
I think that's really like admirable because I think that's like within like the company sphere, like that's always been a stronghold that people have always used against like social media platforms and people from like having a certain level of like free speak or autonomy and how they want to run their business because they're always like, well, the advertisers think I want to do this, I want to push this idea, I think this would be great for humanity, or like something that would like kind of frame how people think, and it's like, okay, but what would the advertisers think? What would Disney think if they saw you trying to push a toy that wasn't child friendly, stuff like that.
Right.
So I think him being able to do that, maybe this might spark a revolution to people to not be so reliant on advertisers, because now we have a very advertiser like controlled world where like everything has to go through like what companies want, and I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
It's to me it's just so interesting because Elon Musk is a very vocal person on Twitter, and it's not like Twitter itself, and what they represent is what getting him in trouble and losing advertiser dollars. It's more so just Elon Musk and what he's saying. So when you think about it, if he's like silent on a lot of this stuff and not even saying his opinion, which is like obviously not a good thing, but it would save him a lot of money in a lot of instances.
Probably. He'd probably get like a lot less flack if he just kind of stuck to the status quo.
Well, he wouldn't even have to do that. He would just not have to voice his opinion on like Twitter or something.
He could have the opinion and just not tweet it.
Yeah, that's true. He could
It's
just
kind
keep
of
his mouth shut.
the same problem as Trump, where Trump used to like tweet all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like Trump could think those things, but by saying it, he's just basically rallying people against him.
That's true, yeah, because Yeah, realistically, he could have just not said anything and just like,
And not lost money,
had
but-
his movement, but now that he's like actively flipping off them and like saying things that are like actively controversial, now it's like, okay, now you've riled up people. Now they're not sure where your mind state is. Like, can we trust this guy? Should we partner with this guy? One morning he does about makeup and say like, fuck all women. Like, we don't know anymore. So like,
It's just so interesting. Like,
yeah, so it's like now I can see why advertisers would be like shaky, but I think too, we shouldn't have to, like companies and stuff that are supposed to reflect the interests of the people be only modeled by companies who essentially have like very soulless ideas of what interests.
Good old ESG.
Yeah, they don't.
but
They don't
Elon's,
really care.
when you think about it, Elon's not even like the CEO of Twitter anymore.
Is he?
If you didn't
But
know
he's
that.
the owner.
He's the owner, yeah, but the CEO is somebody different. It's just weird that it's like,
You know what's actually.
he could probably influence the world by saying things in a different platform or a different way, like.
Remember
But I
Tom
guess just
from
a random
MySpace?
sentence, just one random
MySpace
sentence is
Tom.
enough.
Yeah, remember Tom?
Yeah,
Tom from MySpace.
Whatever happened to him?
Yeah, like the guy who was like everybody's friend on MySpace.
He works for Facebook now.
Really?
He was like the creator of MySpace, right?
No,
Yeah,
I don't know.
he was everyone's
Essentially
friend.
the owner of MySpace. Imagine if he was just saying like outlandish shit, like he just all like.
But back then it wouldn't have mattered even slightly.
Yeah.
I feel like things have really changed dramatically as of late. Like people don't really care too much about people don't really care too much about back in the day people didn't really care. Like there wasn't getting canceled like 15 years ago, honestly.
Well, I think it's more of a product of like the new age because I think social media wasn't as robust, but now it's kind of like a part of everyday life. So I think canceling, in its sense, is just news spreads so fast and people are so invested in like what the popular opinion or like what the popular media is saying about most things that I think now that's like a thing to where like you can have your reputation like completely slandered,
And
like
just one
slandered,
sentence, it's crazy.
more so than you ever could.
Yeah, you could be shut down entirely from the internet.
Tom is just like R. Kelly's a pedophile in like 2008.
Yeah, now he can't get a job.
And it would be. I like the fact that Elon is standing against that. Like he doesn't care. He'll just say it, and
That's pretty cool.
and he'll just eat the repercussions.
No
But
matter
I
what
think
the
he could do
crazy
it
shit
in a
is.
way better way, though.
Yeah, and although what he said was technically like potentially anti-Semitic, it's like he did apologize like immediately afterwards for saying something that people perceived as anti-Semitic. So he didn't say like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I said something anti-Semitic." He said, "I'm sorry that you guys think it was anti-Semitic, but
Right.
I was just saying what I meant."
You
saying what
shouldn't
I
be
felt.
punished for that.
Yeah, he shouldn't be punished at the cost of hundreds of millions of dollars.
But I also think he should be able to just create some sort of campaign to deal with cancel culture. Like somebody's got to do something about cancel culture in a way more meaningful way than just being just this scenario. Like this really doesn't help much of anything.
No, I agree. I think
Well, you can't control the masses in that way. The masses can decide that.
well, you just make a
you can try.
you just make
I
a
don't know.
platform where
Who's influential enough to be like, you guys, stop it.
yeah.
Oprah could do it.
I could,
Yeah.
Oprah
do
and
it?
Beyonce could team
Morgan Freeman. If Morgan Freeman came out of
No, I
nowhere,
don't think people are listening
it was
to Morgan
like, y'all
Freeman.
need to stop this shit.
Morgan.
I'd be
I feel like if you
Yeah.
take Oprah for the older generation and then you take Beyonce and Jay-Z for the younger generation, then you
but
got
both of Beyonce, I don't know about see, Beyonce and Jay-Z. You gotta split them up because I don't take them seriously together.
That's hilarious.
You know what I
You don't
mean?
believe in the power of a black couple?
No. I feel like they do great things for the world, but it's like if they're so influential, why are they in the same place at the same time?
Yeah.
What?
You know what I mean?
Why are they together?
Yeah, like telling me this.
Oh,
I guess you know.
'Cause they
You know
want you to
what?
listen.
You know what? You got me there.
Yeah,
It's
I'm like, what?
This is really important.
yeah.
I
you would
be-
need both of them.
I'd be
to
thrown
get the
off by
men.
that.
You got to get the men and the women.
I'd be like, how did Jay-Z and Beyonce get together with their busy schedules? Where's their kid?
Yeah.
They could have the kid with them.
Is
just
the
holding
kid just
baby.
like no? The
Yeah,
kid
stop
would be,
canceling.
It'd be
Stop
walking
canceling
around.
each
It's a
other.
big kid now.
I have an interesting take on the anti-Semitism thing though that I do want to like bring up, and it's pretty much like, and this kind of relates to cancel culture, and like the thing I don't like about cancel culture is that depending on like what groups that you're talking about, a lot of times, people kind of lose their objectivity when it comes to like labeling what something is. So it's like he made that statement and it's immediately labeled as anti-Semitic, but but in reality it's like he made a claim that he could potentially substantiate with reason if he, if you asked him why. And I think that's the thing I don't like is that there's certain claims you'll make about a group, where people will lose that objectivity and won't even care to ask why. They'll just immediately assume you're asking this because you hate that group. And it's like if I said, like, I think Russia illegitimately like invaded Ukraine, and then, would a rational person be like, is it because you hate Russians? Do you think they're monsters? Or would they ask, well, why do you think that? Because that's something that I can say and have a reason to back it up if you inquired.
Right.
But a lot of times you'll get something like, even if you take another category that usually gets attacked, like whether it's LGBT or women, you're like, I think that, like, I think women don't oftentimes know what they want when they, when they talk about their standards in dating. People will get really triggered by something like that and be like, you're a sexist. But it's like no one ever really steps back and just asks, like, well, why do they think that? Maybe there's a reason. Maybe they can substantiate that claim. And I think that's the problem I hate with cancel culture, especially with, like, even this one where it's like they're calling Elon Musk like an anti-Semitic, or saying that it's innately anti-Semitic, but no one like stopped to ask, like, well, why do you think that? Like, he could have reasons to why he believes that there is an agenda at place that, is instilled by, like, Jewish culture that may be attacking white people. But no one cares to ask. It's just immediately assumed it's anti-Semitic.
It's just cut down immediately because it just talks about a protected group, so you can't really have any type of open conversation about it because it's not quote unquote appropriate.
Exactly. And I think that's the part of cancel culture I don't like. And I think that's why I kind of respect him standing on business. Yeah. I respect him standing on business. It's like, what Doja Cat said it best. I said what I said. Yeah. That's right. But yeah, no, I think like, doing that, not being afraid to, stand on what you said. And then also, like I said, as long as he, I guess, takes that second step, if ever given the opportunity to maybe explain where his thought comes from, I think that leaves us in a place to where people can communicate with each other a lot better and not just immediately attack one another.
It's so like, what's the word I just thought of? But it's so like picky and choosy. Like, I'm pretty sure if Elon Musk says like, oh, this person is fat, like, he probably wouldn't get persecuted for saying something, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's such a pick and choose thing. Like, okay, they can decide this sentence is why we'll cancel you. Mm-hmm. It's just not fair. It just lacks so much fairness.
Exactly. It's lacks a lot of substance and objectivity, and a lot of times it's just like, it depends on, it's about who, and it's not like, in that regard, it gets very much like murky,
Right.
It's like, oh, so some people have more privilege than others.
Right. You can talk about these people, you won't get
Back
in
in the
trouble.
day, you have to slit somebody a Mickey to get canceled.
Yeah. Back in the day, you have to actually kill someone to get canceled. Now you just gotta say something bad about them.
You just gotta say something fucking
Say
off
something-
about their personality, and then they're like, you're done.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I guess tie it all everything back in. What do you guys think? Do you think Elon Musk is making the right move with what he's doing, or do you think maybe bit off more than he can chew?
It depends on how you perceive the word right, like whether or not it's right or wrong. I don't necessarily think it's wrong, but he is going to lose a lot of money from it. But at the end of the day, the advertisers will come back because it always happens.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
I feel like he at that level where he always gonna have bread. So it's like,
Well, yeah, Elon Musk isn't going broke.
Look at that leather jacket.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
That
got
goddamn
style.
leather jacket and that fur.
Yeah, it's
It's
killing
about
it.
like, keeping Twitter sustainable and getting because Twitter it wasn't really in a good shape when he bought it. Like, it was losing a lot of money. So I guess it's about like, okay, are they able to sustain themselves as a company and keep going?
I don't even know how Twitter makes money, to be honest. Like,
Advertising.
Okay.
And subscription models now.
Yeah, I guess that's true, because I'm like, I guess that's the biggest point. It's like, okay, without them, like, where's the bulk of your money gonna come from?
Yeah, but he was telling them, fuck off, don't advertise. We don't care.
Yeah.
it's a lot of porn on Twitter though. So people gonna, you feel
Yeah.
me?
They care more about anti-Semitism than porn, apparently.
Yeah,
They're
I
like,
hope
hey,
they keep
go
the
ahead and
porn,
throw the
though.
ads up.
I think everyone cares about porn. I hope they
That's
keep
what I'm saying. I think that's what's gonna keep it alive. The
Yeah.
porn all on OnlyFans.
No, I'm saying the advertisers. The advertisers don't mind being next to porn.
Yeah, that's the actual funny part too. That
Exactly.
like,
It's 'cause they
Like,
pick and
they don't
choose.
care about
Pick
that.
and
Like, yeah, put my
choose.
products next to a guy getting fucking.
Well, they don't do that, but
Yes, they do. You can see ads right after a nice railing video.
yeah, but they pick and choose what ads, I guess, are associated.
They're like Gatorade, you're dehydrated from all that jacking off.
Need some gamer fuel.
Yeah, some gamer fuel.
Yeah. All right, let's close this one out, man.
All right.
Thanks for popping in, thanks for watching, everybody. You can find the Code Podcast on all social media platforms at The Code Podcast. We're also available on all, the full episodes are available on all platforms, including YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Rumble. Check out our Patreon, too. $5 a month gets you full access to our exclusive content, including My Black Friends podcast. We've recently released, 30 episodes of My Black Friends podcast on YouTube, so you can check those out anytime. They're like, just check back in the history. I'll make a playlist sometime. Thanks for popping in. We gotta pop out of here.
All right, peace.
You need to leave.